Hi, I'm Matt Patterson with the Oklahoman, and today we're joined by Tara Henson and Barry Downer, Deputy Director of the Zoo, for our bi-weekly edition of Zoo Tales. How you doing, guys?
I'm great.
Good. Doing well, thank you.
Very excited for the holidays
Yeah,
and all the cool stuff at the
it's
zoo.
here. It's finally here. You just came from a birthday party. Tell us about that.
Can you tell I'm all windblown? And well, you know, we just celebrated Akara's birthday, and she's our elephant. And actually today at 2 o'clock we had a party. Last year at this time she was born at 135, weighing in at about 323 pounds, and now she tips the scales at about 1,300 pounds. It was a ton of fun. We had the pavilion area was packed, and we had a honey wheat bread cake, especially made by Whole Foods, so it's all those natural grains, then some flavored yogurt, and we used an asparagus stalk for the candle this year because it's a little windy, and she is a 1-year-old, so.
Right.
And Nick, our supervisor, had the lighter, and I said, oh no, Nick, no fire. And so she had this cake and fresh veggies and all of that, and we started that with Mom, Asha, and of course Mom stole the cake because that's what great moms do. Don't let the baby have all the cake. And we also tried for the first time, I don't know if you know this, Barry, but jackfruit. Have you guys ever seen that?
I don't know that I've ever heard of jackfruit.
Yeah, okay, so it's like the largest tree-borne fruit in the world, and it's from Southeast Asia, and we got one of those and halved it. Basically, the elephant squashed it and said, no thanks. But it was really cool, and they had presents, and then Bamboo and Chai, you know, most people remember them as formerly coming from Seattle, and they came and joined the party, as did Chandra, who is Akara's aunt, and we just had a great time.
And from an enrichment standpoint, this is a great thing for these guys, right? I mean, that's a fun.
Absolutely. Anytime you can kind of change things up a little bit, it's definitely enriching for the animals, and it provides some entertainment experience for our guests, and it gives something a little bit different for the employees to be able to do. And they like planning that stuff, and they are so proud of their animals, and the elephants in particular. So yeah, anytime we could do something special for them, we certainly want to try.
It was enrichment for me. That's our just term for something fun and unique. So I had a blast.
Sure.
I'm sorry you didn't get to come down there. Oh, so much fun.
With Akara turning 1, that kind of leads us into what we were going to talk about today, which is younger animals at the zoo. There's a few that have been born in the last year, even a couple this fall. Barry, talk a little bit about some of the new animals.
Yeah, we've had a great year for animal births, especially some really rare and critically endangered species. Just recently, we had an okapi birth. An okapi is a rare breed of hoofstock that comes from Southeast Asia, from Africa. But it's, I like to say it looks kind of like a mix between a zebra, a giraffe, and a hyena. Something completely different than what you're gonna see anywhere else. And also a zebra foal was born, kind of by surprise. We thought she was past her gestational prime, and lo and behold, she had a baby this year for us. So we were really excited about that as well.
Look at the pups.
The African wild pups. Yes, we had 8 of those born. Fantastic. We had the 3 that got a lot of attention from last year. That we had to actually bring in a surrogate, and this year Mom did what she was supposed to do, raised all 8 pups on her own, and they're out running around now out on the exhibit, so if you stop by the zoo you can see all of them.
That's a lot of activity. And we recently learned they had their first wellness checkup, and we learned that it was 4 boys and 4 girls, so they're doing great. And now everybody's seeing our beautiful little zebra foal. It's a little boy zebra, and he's kind of chilling out right there. But I will tell you, like any kid, when he gets up and goes, he gets up and goes. And then, well, when he's done, he's done.
Yeah.
So he plays hard. And
it's a rough life for him.
Yeah, those guys are outside. Typically it has to be about 45 to 50 degrees, not too terribly chilly,
Right.
No
Today's
rain
a
or
perfect
snow.
day.
Oh yeah, they've been out and active. And what's beautiful about these guys too is that the African wild dog pups and the zebra foal are right there near each other, so you can head out that way, and while you're out that way, you can also check out the new animal hospital. And if you go online at okczoo.com, you can find out cool procedures that are going on. And look, there's our sweet Julu. Oh, that's with her mom.
Yes, the giraffe was born earlier this year. We also had a couple of gorillas that were born, and I did mention the okapi earlier. The okapi is still in its nesting phase, which means that it is not out on exhibit. Typically in the wild, what they would do when they're born is they tend to stay in one place that's fairly protected for about the first month of their life. So it's actually in the barn. It's staying there, just kind of bedded down. But when it's ready to come out, it'll be out. And we're hoping within the next couple of weeks it'll start to venture out on nice days.
And of course, these animals are already out. I mean, today it's,
Oh,
like
right.
you said, it's a nice day.
This is Akara out exploring, and what's been a lot of fun to watch with her is, we have this multi-generational herd of elephants, and it's a matriarchal herd. And with Bamboo and Chai being the elder girls, if you will, and then you've got Aunt Chandra and Mom Asha, and then little Akara, they are learning from one another. I mean, they're teaching elephant etiquette just like our moms and grandmas would. And then when you look at our this is our gorillas, and this looks like Ruby, I think. And they too learn a lot of their social skills from their parents. And you can tell Ruby might want to go explore, but she's not going to get any further than an arm's length from her mom, because that's what they would do in the wild. They're great parents.
Barry, how fun is this for you? I mean, for visitors, it's a big treat to see these younger animals, but for you guys as a staff, what's it like just to have to care for them? It's got to be pretty fun, I would think.
Absolutely. Anytime you can feel like you're doing something for conservation, we are a conservation organization. We want to go ahead and promote that and get people to understand that we want to be there, and we want to be able to educate. We want to be able to provide, realistic, enriching opportunities for the animals, and we want to be able to make sure that we're doing our best for the animals in our care, and we feel like we do that every day. The Oklahoma City Zoo is a top-notch institution that, I would say is easily within the top, 5% of zoos worldwide in terms of the care that we give our animals. So,
what are some of the challenges you guys face with dealing with younger animals like that?
There's always a risk involved. Anytime you're working with animals, period, whether it be your dog or cat at home or an animal that we have here at the zoo, there's always a kind of a risk involved. And, one of the things that we really look forward to is being able to educate the public on what those risks are. And, anytime you have an animal, you really have to put them at the forefront. That's our priority, is making sure that those animals have everything that they could possibly need to thrive while they're at our institution.
Tara, I know you handle the social media accounts. So from that perspective,
Allegedly.
these are from that perspective, baby animals. That's pure gold for you guys, right? As far as getting your message out about
Yes.
them and kind of their story in the wild as well.
Well, people love baby animals, and we want them to feel the connection, not just because there's a baby animal. In the zoo, there are plans for how we go about when an animal breeds, whether an animal should breed, whether we have space for them, that sort of thing. And of course, it's exciting when we have baby chimps or baby elephants, or like the okapi, these endangered species, where we're helping the animals in the wild and we're getting people to connect with nature. Is it gold? Yes, in some ways, because people tend to look at young animals like they would children. They're smaller, they're cute, that sort of thing. But we remind them too, they're also wild animals. And we are as hands-off as we can possibly be, unless we have to intervene for some reason, because we want them to be wild animals. We want them to learn how to be a proper okapi or a proper chimp, that sort of thing. And that's very important. Wild animals do not make good pets. And you'll see that time and time again, particularly in your field too, where you'll hear stories that aren't so great. It's just like, it's even more so than if you see a popular movie come out, and a particular species of dog, people get excited about that. And folks might go out and, get that dog for a holiday present, maybe not think it through. We really encourage people to think about that. First, wild animals don't make good pets. Second, when you do go out and you're looking for a pet for your family, learn a lot about that animal, learn whether you've got that commitment and that time and whether it's suitable, and then take proper care. I was just talking to a friend about, they were thinking about a pet for the holidays, but they'd done a ton of research, and that's really great. And those are some of the messages that we can also share that connect people with their family animals, or also getting out and seeing all the cool nature things that there are to see just by being out in nature. And the zoo, I think, does a really good job about that too, because the zoo itself is a classroom. And speaking of classrooms, we have awesome education programs year-round. Coming up during the holidays, our team has day camps. You can do half day, you can do full day. They're for kids toddler aged, around 3 or 4 for the day camps, I believe, all the way up into preteens. And there's some adult programs as well. You want to go to okczoo.com to check that out. There's an education tab. You've got to pre-register for them. But they make great gifts. It's fun. It gives the kids a break. They're going to have hands-on experience with our education ambassador animals. They're going to have crafts and interactive, age-appropriate type activities. They'll go out on hikes. They get to do some behind-the-scenes things where it's appropriate. There are days that I wish I could go to day camp at the zoo. Please, Barry.
Yeah, me too.
Please,
Absolutely.
can I do that? But I really, and the fee is very nominal. If you're a zoo friend, you get a discount. If you're not, it's still worth it, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's another way, as part of our mission, to connect people to wildlife, wild places, why we should care, conservation, not just because they see these adorable big eyes on this gorilla, but why it matters in the wild and here.
I know from hearing Teresa Randall, who heads up that program
Yeah.
at the trust meetings, that they're sometimes 90% filled with their slots or more,
Sure.
during these camps.
But but we don't want people to be too concerned that it's going to be full. Yes, we want you to act, and if there's a class that really speaks to you, some are particularly popular, get pre-registered, do it online, or call the education department at 425-0291. That's not correct. I think I just sent them to security. You don't want to do that. Don't call security. But anyway, you're going to call our education department and check with them on availability. And what we've been doing is that when we see a class that's selling out, if we have space, we're adding programs, and we can put you on a waiting list, or if somebody's going to rotate out for whatever reason, we'll get you in the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty exciting to see young kids getting excited, getting interested in what you guys do.
Oh, absolutely. The science that we can teach is so much different than the science that they would learn in school or learn outside of the zoo. We give them the ability to see things and to hear things and to touch things that they would never be able to do anywhere else. And so we feel very privileged that we can be used as an educational tool for Oklahoma City area.
And with Christmas and New Year's coming up, those are also the lone 2 days of the year that the zoo is closed, right?
Yes, we're Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving.
But Christmas and New Year's, and so we're open year round. Every experience at the zoo can be a different experience because you're living with, you're dealing with living beings and also plants, and we're a accredited botanical garden. So every time you come out, you can get a little exercise. You can see the animals doing their different things and enjoying themselves, and sometimes they're watching us. And I did want to mention too, if you're thinking about you might want to do an education program or buy a membership, one thing people don't realize is that we have gift cards, and you can get those through our gift shop at Safari Gifts, and you can put whatever amount on there that you want for friends and family, and then they can determine how they'd like to use it. Do they want to book a class? Do they want to buy a membership? Do they want to use it at Safari Gifts or when they come out as a member? So you can always check on that. We've got really cool merchandise at our gift shop, lots of neat stuff. And I like to tell people that anytime you shop at the zoo, you support animals too, and that's true. So anytime you visit, you're helping us with our mission of helping animals in wild places.
Absolutely. Well, 'tis the season, guys. And Merry Christmas to you guys, and Happy New Year.
Merry
Same to you.
Christmas.
It's great to have you here, guys, today. We'll see you next time.
Oh, thanks so much, and we'll have to get Barry out here sometime. He's a herper, snakes
I
and all that stuff.
I read about that, yeah.
So we'll have to get him out here sometime talking about his favorite. I'm sorry, not favorite. He doesn't have favorite animals.
I don't have favorite animals. I love them all.
That's perfect.
Great answer. Thanks, guys, for being with us today. I
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much.
All right, thank you.